So today I want to try out two different dyes. One is going to be the iDye Poly, the other one's going to be the Rick dye. So, okay. So this one is Rit Synthetic. This is, to me, this is a newer dye because when I was trying to dye some stuff for cosplays a few years back, they didn't have this. They had this stuff though, which is the iDye Poly from Jacquard. Okay. It took me a second. I have a big box of fabrics from Swanson's. It was their like different types of what am I trying to say? Different types of like fabric types, like, but they're all polyester. So that's, you know, why I'm doing this too. This is 9 yards of a poly fabric, so I'm going to cut it in half. Technically, this is, if I cut it in half, what is that, 4.5? Yeah, 4.5 yards. So that technically that's gonna probably still be too much for my pot. So it won't be perfectly even, but that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm going to start off first. Of course I dropped it. Okay, I'm gonna first start off with this one because I know this one's easy for me. I'm gonna do this one first. I'm going to do everything that says that needs to be done on the packaging, and then we will see differences, and of course color differences, because that says graphite, that doesn't say black. It's not going to be pure black like this one. So that one, I'm more or less seeing how it works. Oh my gosh, my brain. I'm more or less trying to see how it works with ease, like if it's easy to use and stuff like that. So let's get into dyeing half of this big thing of fabric. So I got the first pot of water going to boil. I'm outside because I'm not allowed to do it inside. And there are 8 liters or 32 cups of water in here, slowly heating up. And once it's heated up, I'm going to add the dye in it, and we will start dyeing the first section of 4.5 yards. So this one says that it's a no mess dye packet that dissolves in water. It also has a like a silver packet of a liquid to help adhere it a little bit better to the polyester fibers. But it's not just polyester, it's anything that's plastic based, it'll attach to. Love this stuff. This stuff, like the corset that I did for my reverse flash, actually, up in that picture over there, was made with this. It was a white corset because I couldn't find a yellow that I liked, so I figured I'd dye it. Found this, did it, loved it. Oh my gosh, like it came out amazing. I love that corset. So let's quickly go into how it says filled with a pot of warm water to move freely. You add the packet, which is in like a little plastic, but it dissolves, so it's like the Tide Pod plastics, and the color intensifier, which is that silver packet I was talking about. You start in to disperse it, and then you add your fabric. So they're saying to maintain the temperature, you know, the heat temperature for a half an hour to an hour, stirring frequently. I always did an hour and a half for some reason, because even though most of the time fabric dyes only work for 45 minutes, that's what I learned from my fiber dyeing class. So like I know how this works, and I know it does an amazing result. That is why I want to use this one and test it out against the Rit dye one.
So you can see that it's a little blotchy. I knew that was gonna happen. It almost looks kind of like a tie-dye, but then it's still wet too, so we won't know what it'll look like until it's dry. So on to the next one.
So here is pot number 2. Also has 8 liters of water, 32 cups. And the dye bath is going to be going on for 45 minutes, just like the last one was 45 minutes. So we're just waiting for this to heat up. And once it heats up, then we can put in the dish soap and the dye and the fabric. Fabric is very needed for this. That one's black. This one says that it is, where is it? Graphite. It's graphite. Holy crap, the writing is really tiny. Where are directions? Precautions. Directions are super tiny. So let's see. That one doesn't say what to wear gloves. This one does. Which dyeing, yeah. I'm making jokes at this point. At least trying to. So they tell you what temperature they want the water at, which is 200 degrees Fahrenheit. I don't have a thermometer. And then they want you to add dish soap, then the dye, mix it, submerged unfolded fabric, stir for 30 minutes to achieve color up to 60 minutes. And then it tells you nylons dye faster. Fabric will look dark when wet. I like that. They tell you that the fabric will always look darker when it's wet, and it actually dries 2 shades lighter. That's something I learned in my fiber dyeing class. I love that class. Oh wow, this one they want you to rinse it in warm water and then gradually cool water. Wash it in warm water with detergent. Yep, that's normal dyeing stuff. And then okay, so this one's saying that if you use natural fibers, it'll retain the color better.
Like the other one, this one does have a little bit of uneven dyeing, but that is also my fault because I did not give it enough room for moving around. So
as we can see, the two, this one on the camera is surprisingly come up green. Let's see, it definitely matches that color on the bottle. So, you know, I'm gonna assume roughly that's gonna be about the colors you're gonna get on polyester fabric. This did not come out black as I wanted it to. But this is definitely, like, looking at it, this is more of a bluey or purpley, surprisingly, even though this came out more purple in the bottle, working in the dye pot. It did come out darker. I didn't expect it to, because when this one was still a little damp, it was this color, and I was like, whoa, we got the same color. But now that it's fully dried, this is the exact same. No, it's not the exact same. It is definitely lighter than I thought this one was going to be. I know these could have probably come out darker if I had probably more dye. A pot that let it kind of move around easier. Since this was 4 yards, and 4 yards had a hard time moving around, you get an even color when it's able to move around freely. Since this was a little bit more compact, that's why I had a lot of the marbling. Same thing with this one, because again they were both from the same 9 yards. You can see how white it was compared to what it is now, so it did do something. Here is the first one. Let's see if I can get it to focus on it. Yeah. And then I noticed that the fabric, there's parts that like dyed lighter. I don't know if you guys can see that on camera, if it'll focus. Yeah. So. And then this one. Here's the second one. The second fabric that, well, second one that was dyed with the red dye. So final thoughts on this would be that I guess whatever you're kind of going for, just don't use as much fabric as I did. Like I said, I love the way this comes out. I'm used to using powdered dyes from a fiber dyeing class that I took a few years back. So like for me, this is what I kind of know more. This is easy. Little dish soap, you put it in there. You know, it's not. Also, because remember, this is also not going to be completely black. Anyways, it says that it's graphite. So graphite's going to, of course, be lighter than an actual black. So, but I mean, if this is also cheaper. This is a lot cheaper. This is like $2 cheaper than this one. So it just depends on what your budget is, what you're kind of going for. But they work. They do a great job. And again, remember they were both 45 minutes in there, pre-soaked, and 8 liters or 8 quarts or even 32 cups, like whatever you want to go with. You know, this was all equal. I was going to keep it the same. So, yep. I hope this was insightful. I hope you enjoyed learning about dyes. I'm glad that I was able to try this out and see how it does. Like I said, I do prefer this one over this one, but I mean, if in a pinch and you don't have a whole lot of money, it'll do the job. Just, how do I explain this? It'll do the job. That's all that matters. So I'll see you in my next video.